Hi there, we're Dave and Joanne Matteson, and we're going to share with you today about building depth, which is really building a solid, stable, and secure business in your LifeVantage opportunity. First, we're going to touch on the system and what does that look like to build your business.
When we talk about moving a business forward, there are some ingredients, just like we make up a cake. There's some ingredients to this business that we need to participate in to allow ourselves some of this success. One of the basic fundamentals stems from these core beliefs. First of all, you need to show at least 15 presentations a month. A presentation is nothing more than showing the video, telling your story, telling the company story, and showing people how they can reap a benefit this from a compensation standpoint. The next factor is you want to make sure that you're going to participate and make it a priority in your life. So attending all of the functions is very important to your growth, not only personally, but in your business. You also want to make sure that you're always doing what you say you're going to do. We live in a culture that unfortunately there's a lot of promises being broken. But ultimately, for people to trust you, you're going to have to be able to trust them first. And ultimately, you're going to have to stick to your word and the things that you say that you're going to do. You also want to be in a position where you can stay in control of that business. So however that falls into your equation on a traditional business, in this business, we'll talk a little bit about that. But staying in control of it means not only doing what you say you're going to do, but making sure that your example is something that people will follow. On the last point is we want to make sure that you turn yourself into a promoter because you're going to promote other people forward. And if you can keep them in a going forward motion rather than giving them an opportunity for another job, if you give them the opportunity to promote to others, they're going to start to see the duplication in their time.
And once you've gone through and assessed what the system is and made that commitment for yourself and your success, go ahead and sign that and have your upline mentor sign it as well so that they know that you're serious and that you want to move forward to have success with your LifeVantage business. And so let's go through what does a presentation really look like and what is your story? So your story is just who you are, where you came from, and what drew you to want to build a LifeVantage business. You know, was it that you just wanted more money, more time with family, you weren't set up for retirement, you have little kids, that you wanted to be able to stay home, whatever that is that attracted you to LifeVantage, tell whoever it is that you're talking to why you're doing your business so that they will feel sure and secure that you're going to follow through and that they want to come alongside with you. Tell the LifeVantage company story, where we were, where we are today, but most importantly, where LifeVantage is going because it's going to the top and you want to ride that wave. And then share how you get paid. So go through our compensation plan and how amazing and powerful it is and educate people that they can build a multi-million-dollar business with just a $200 overhead.
When we take some of these initial skill sets and we start to develop them, the first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to bring people into this equation. So how do we invite them? There are many different ways to invite them. Most importantly, you have to meet them at where they're at. So give them a reason to sit down, map this thing through, whether it's via technology or in person, preferably one-on-one, preferably in a position where you're actually in a position where you're offering them who you are. You're giving them the reasons for looking at this from the big 30,000 foot viewpoint that we all want them to see it as. Then we want to train you on how to bring that presentation to light. We want to make sure that you're the one that is able to transfer all of your belief through this tear-off process. This tear-off sheet is a simple process that goes through all the bullet points or what are pertinent to elevating this story to that 30,000 foot viewpoint. The next thing you want to make sure is when you're communicating this message, you want to take care of some of the obstacles and boundaries that they might have when they're first looking at this, the interpretation they're initially seeing. When we do that, we're going to have the ability to give them a pathway of success rather than just allowing them to flounder on their own potentially. We also want to make sure that we're in the place where we're communicating to them, we're in a place that we can actually help them follow through with some of their people and prospects that they're communicating this message with. If we just allow them to move forward, because it's a new thing for them, they're often going to see some challenges. So we take them by the hand and we actually walk them through that process, and we're the ones that continue that follow-up process. We also want to make sure that we bring them to a position of closure, meaning giving them options on how to progress forward. And now yourself are the ones that are going to take them through those initial steps. The closure is something that we're not trying to make the sale, but we're closing them in on what their actual aspirations are for their life. And now we have the ability to transfer that into something that's going to create greatness for them. When you look at this building depth alignment, this is a principle that is very rudimentary, but it's something we do every day. We call it building relationships. When we all generally love to meet and greet and become friends with new people. What is really special about this is it pays you handsomely to do that. Ultimately, we're going to be in a position as we continue to follow up with our prospects and their prospects and their prospects. If we're still involved in that whole entire cycle, we're going to have an opportunity to take this building depth 5x5 format and start to fill in the blanks successfully. I suggest you take your first 5 people that you're going to bring to the table and you put them across the front line of your business, A, B, C, D, and E. Upon doing so, you're now going to find that you've got more than 5. You're often in your first and second month grabbing another 5, 10, 15 people yourself, and you're going to continue to build this leadership organization out. You're also going to add, obviously use pencil because they all change. You're going to add to the depths of the people that they're bringing in. So you'll start to build a matrix where you can see this chart develop for the benefit of the people that are in that entire chart and for yourself to keep track of. Here's an example of people that have come into this business and through multiple steps and processes, they've been able to capture an organization, sometimes even hundreds of people deep. You can see the success in many different organizations. As we continue to see the development of this depth organization, you start to multiply out just the minimum essentials of what people are consuming on a daily basis and a monthly basis of these incredible products, you're going to start to multiply this quadrant. And that quadrant is going to be very relative in your checkbook, purely from the standpoint that everyone's doing it over and over and over again. It's a long-term process, a 2 to 5 year plan, as we like to call it. We're also going to be able to identify with some pretty special leaders in your business, and you're going to find them through your business. What we like to illustrate is as you're communicating this message with people, people are going to identify with what you're saying, and they're certainly going to be able to tell you some of their personality as you're communicating this to them. If you look at some of the difference between our leaders and our followers, we can usually identify people over a period of time where they often fall for their self-confidence and their self-awareness. Often we look at leaders that create things. On the other side, we look at followers that wait. Okay, you can start to see some of those qualities in people that just give you a better blueprint for you to actually move this message forward and give them an opportunity for success. But most importantly, you're gonna meet them at where they're at. As you can see some of this unfold, you're gonna have a whole entire list of things that you're gonna be able to map out for them.
I love that list. Take a look at that list and see where you fall. And if you're not falling on the leader side, choose to do that and make some changes in your life, because that's where you're going to need to be in order to build a huge LifeVantage business. And so in addition to that, part of the system is plugging into that training and mentorship program. And so what we've got available is on the first and third Tuesday of every month, we've got Building Depth Zoom calls, and those calls are amazing. You're not going to want to miss those. So check out the links here and put it in your calendar now to make that a priority to attend. In addition to the Zoom calls, we have Building Depth events that happen quarterly in St. George. Our next one is coming up here soon, and so you can check that out on Eventbrite. And there's also corporate sponsored events from LifeVantage that are absolutely amazing, and those you will definitely want to treat as a priority to grow your business. Because remember, what we're talking about here is leveraging your time and leveraging yourself. And so when you plug your team members into the LifeVantage corporate events, they can learn without you having to be the only source of information for them. Check out LifeVantage Academy, because across the country, every month on the third Saturday of every month are local trainings that you can plug into. And then on Facebook, there is so much information for you to tap into as well. So get yourself joined on the Building Depth group so you can hear what's happening in LifeVantage Nation. And we look forward to seeing you.